I know when I was packing my to-go bag, of course, we had our ID and our special cards, our bank state, certain bank information and certain insurance and this form. And we took certain pictures we were collecting, and literally my to-go bag expanded the moment the evacuation happened because other things started coming to me. And I'm grabbing cash, I'm grabbing these and things and this stuff and making sure I had this. And then I started to realize, you know what? Some of the stuff I thought was valuable actually isn't as valuable.
Right.
And it's not to say that it wasn't special stuff. It's just, if we had to evacuate every day of our lives or at random, would you think that that was the thing that you needed to take? I was
Right.
leaving some name brand stuff I hadn't even worn yet. I was like, yo.
But that's the beauty of it. I think when it comes down to it, what was most valuable for you and Michelle to be safe, right? And so that was paramount.
Life.
Everything
Life.
else was small. Everything else did not matter. Now
Yeah.
when you look back and if you lost everything, it's like, wow, I lost everything. But in that moment, that was the most important thing and will continue to be the most important thing, even as people
Yeah.
rebuild, is having your family there. I think, for me, I've gotten to a place where I value space over stuff. So when I came back to
Mm.
my house, I purged a lot. I'm dropping stuff
Yeah.
off every other day because I would rather see the floor than to see some junk. Like that's just where I am right now. I'm
Wow,
enjoying
that's good.
space. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying the clearness of empty space
There's
versus
parallels to that. There's parallels to that for your living, like mentally as well. Like,
100%. A
whoa,
hundred
that's good.
percent. Because it's not until you declutter do you feel lighter. Like it's just anything. Anything you clean off, you feel better. Now it might stay that way or get that way again within the next 2 days. But when you
Yeah.
do it, you keep walking past that door, looking in there like, look, now that
Right,
looks good.
right.
I like the
Yeah,
way that
yeah,
looks, right?
yeah.
And so for
Oh, I
me,
got
I'm
a
like,
wall
look at that.
there.
Like seriously, I have gotten rid of so much stuff, and people who know me is not hoarder, but probably most of us. So I have a theory. Once I started purging, I feel like anybody who has anything in a closet needs to throw everything in the closet away, right?
Yeah,
Because you don't use it, you don't need it, you hadn't seen it, and so it's like little things like that that I have already determined that even though all my closets are packed with clothes, I wear the
yeah,
same thing that's in that laundry basket that I took off
yeah.
last week and washed this week and put it, it's like,
Right.
but if someone said, "Oh, all your clothes are gone," what am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? So it's a mind game where we think we need
It
what we don't
really
need.
is.
And it's not
It
real. We
really
know it's not
is.
real.
Say
You
that
don't need
once.
it.
Say that once more. It is
I
a
hate when you
mind
ask me to
game.
repeat something because my brain don't work like yours to
No, no,
remember what
no,
I
no, no,
said.
no. Your mind works like mine, where
I'm
I
like,
will
what
say
did I
something,
say?
and if I don't say it immediately, I'm like, I don't know. You gotta tell me. I
No,
think
I'm saying
what
we
you
don't we
said.
don't need we know we don't need what we think we need, but we are attached.
No, no, you did not. You said
Why you the
essentially. Listen, listen, listen for a second. You said we start to realize that we actually don't need what we thought we needed.
Okay, sure.
And you didn't
But
even
we
say
never
it,
we
say
we
that exact.
very rarely do. We very rarely do though.
Yeah,
Because I'm one of those people that I have to remind myself, hey Eunice, you don't need to meet another person. You don't need to go to another event. You don't need to have another meeting. You don't need another introduction to do what you can and need and should do. In my
wow.
writing, there's nothing else for you to do besides what you need to do, right? But obviously in our minds, it's like, okay, I need to be invited to this. I need to get this agent. I need to get this and it's like, you literally don't need to do anything other than what you need to do. But I think that's the same thing with stuff. They say, psychologists say you shouldn't even watch commercials because they are designed to make you feel your teeth aren't the whitest, your car isn't the fastest, your tire
Right.
isn't the newest. Like anything you have that you sold me last week, we now have new and improved. So now you already don't have the best. And so that's just how society tells us that. Now with social media, you're not just comparing yourself to your siblings or your cousins or the people on your block is like the entire world. I don't have that. They did that by this. I was telling my friend that today. People who have these age things. Oh, I'm about to be 30 and I haven't done this thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
30? You ain't even, you still on Similac. Like you still that ain't nothing, you know. But age is that gift that gives you perspective. And the further you get down the road, the more the perspective changes, right? And any road is like, wow, that looks so far away. And then as you keep living, the things that were far away are close up. And the objects in the mirror are smaller than they appear or larger than they appear when you get there, right? And so stuff and things, even people,
Whew.
experiences, you realize, what am I putting value in? Am I
Yeah.
I think our society focuses so much more on attachment versus connection, right? And so I'm attached to this person, even I don't have a connection to them. A lot of relationships, but then we can stay focused. And so for me, I look at being being a creative a good portion of the time doesn't mean you're a starving artist, but it also means you could be. And if you
Yeah.
you take the wrong turn at Albuquerque, it could be a struggle. But guess what? If the freedom I have in my life to explore myself and the time I have in my life to create and write, and what, there's no amount of money somebody can put on that would match the value I feel in that, right? And so whereas I'm not winning
Yeah.
capitalism, I have to let that go because my value system is different than someone who feels good about making X amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I
Right.
make my 6 figures or 7 figures. Hey, I would love that too, but I don't put the same value on that as someone else. I put value on my freedom. I put value on my autonomy. I put value on, guess what? I don't have to ask
Oh, that's
anybody, how can I
good.
do my hair? Like, what number would I put on that? It's
Mm.
priceless. But I was a TV news anchor who had to ask permission for how I wore my hair and what events I attended and what I wore. And I don't have that anymore. And it's like hard to explain to people, hey, yeah, I wonder where the next dollar is coming from. And I sleep good every night with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
And I get to figure it out. It can be anything. Who knows what it is?
Listen, I hear you. I hear you. I I
Set your own
want
value system is what I wanted to say. For what you value, set your own value system. And a lot of times other people, I've said this on a previous podcast, other people will try to set values for you. But let it be authentic and unique to you. And that's the only way it's gonna feel good.
yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um I think oftentimes we forget to value what's constantly before us
Yes.
until it's taken away. You start to realize, wow, I really do value some of my family or
Some of
some of
them.
my friends. Certain
Mhm.
friends hold a value position in your life, and I think if it's all said and done, if you were to be asked to make a to go bag for life, not just
Mm,
evacuating your your house, but for life. And God said, in this bag, I need you to put the things that you value. And I will only let you take those things. Would certain relationships be in there? Would certain things be in there? Would certain attributes be in there? And whatever those things are the things that I think we should take proper care of, better care of, and more time to honor that they exist in our lives. Like when you speak to your autonomy is a big deal because a
mhm.
lot of people don't have it in their spaces,
Right.
or they don't move in it in their spaces because of circumstance, because of their condition, their, whatever. um I know there's certain people that I probably put more value on than they should have had, in my life. I think it's one thing to show love and care, but to value someone so much so that everything that they say, is what you live according to, is a dangerous place. So it's you start leveling it out and saying, you know what? They don't go in my to go bag.
Mhm.
They don't go in the emergency bag. They don't get to they no. This doesn't get to go there. Me needing to be a part of this community or this group, no, it doesn't get to go with me. I don't value that.
Mhm.
And you'll start realizing, wait, I can reprioritize some stuff in my life that'll better serve my living, you know? And so I it's just so many parallels that this devastation has kind of awakened me to, you
Mhm.
know, um, like, yeah, what am I valuing? And
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah,
And
I can
also,
do without
how am
this
I
and that.
reacting? What am I valuing? What people would I put in my emergency bag? What situations, what attributes? But also, how am I reacting to situations? How am I reacting to my daily circumstance? My car battery was dead last week. And
Yeah.
I went out to the car and nothing happened. And okay. And I was talking to my friend
That's
and
generally what happens with the dead battery. Go ahead.
well, no, sometimes it'll say it didn't do that. It did nothing.
That
Okay.
means there
And
was a little
so
juice in the battery, but go ahead.
I can tell you the whole battery story. I was trying to get to what I was trying to say, but the moral of the story is my car is completely dead. I'm at my
Yeah.
house and I was telling my friend, I said, you know what's interesting is I went out there, my car was dead. I got out of the car and came back in the house. I said that moment did not even show up on an EKG. There was
Mm.
no rise in me from, oh, my car won't start. Oh, I need it. It was okay. Go back in the house.
Yeah.
You are
You
safe.
level
You are
set.
at
Come
home.
on.
You don't
Yeah.
have anywhere to go. Nobody's looking for you. You call AAA. You'll get a battery tomorrow. It was just like it was not a blip. You would not have seen my EKG and seen that something happened in that moment to me. And that is a
Wow.
choice.
That's maturity. That's growth.
That is
Because
a
not
choice.
everybody
That's what I'm
operates that
saying to
way.
you.
Yeah.
Is there's always going to be a circumstance and a situation that you're going to react to, and unfortunately, they're going to be more that you don't enjoy than not, depending on how you perceive them. And
Yeah.
I'm just like I'm in a space where I'm like, yeah, that's not even a blip on the Richter scale, buddy. That's not. That won't even be a scene in my made for TV movie. It's like that ain't even what you thought it was. That won't even
I
be nothing I'll
dig
be talking
that.
about next week. We're gonna let that go as quickly as it came. And you
Yeah.
get to pick that. You get to choose.
I like that. I like
Oh,
that a
okay.
lot.
Oh, so after you were so hateful on my battery, so you trying to be all at ease, and then you liked it?
Of course, I like a lot of the stuff that you say. Not everything, 95% of it.